Welcome to Soul Ties Karmic Recall with David Dimitri. Edutainment, expression for liberation. Continuing the Cypher with La'Nae Norwood. And all you vibrating higher consciousness.
To uplift and strengthen our people, not to tear us down and become slaughtering fields for the young black men.
And we didn't bring crack cocaine into our community. I'm 40.
Right.
I had, as a kid in Gersie Park, Las Vegas, I was given a package of coke crack every day in 1983 to walk out and give it to the ice cream truckman. I don't know what he did it with, but he would give me all these ice creams to give it to other kids. I was popular in Gersie Park because of that. I was just a kid, but then when I moved back to San Bernardino, that was short-lived because my mom and them, they from San Bernardino, but they from Watts. I had to move out there with my people out in LA, and it was the same thing. My family, I chose a long time ago to stop. I said, I don't want to go to prison, and I'm going to take this on as a test.
Right.
If I can make it through this life without going to prison. I mean, I fought hard. I got clowned.
What's the statistics, though?
Right.
The statistics are not in your favor.
Everybody,
One in three black men will see prison.
1 in every 3.
1 in 3.
And I've been to jail. I've never been to prison. I've been to jail, didn't pay tickets, domestic violence. I'm not going to sit up here and paint myself to be something I'm not. I had issues. I mean, I grew up seeing my mom beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? I grew up seeing my aunties beat. But one thing I know for sure is no African descent brought this crack cocaine and put it into the San Bernardino community, to the Las Vegas black community, and to the LA black communities. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely CIA implants, and it was a trap, and we ate the bait, and now we're reaping the consequences of it now.
And this is 2015.
And what you see is generations and generations. If you go back to slavery, of illiteracy, of mental health,
right?
Because after slavery, they just let us go. But what now?
We were messed up.
Well, nobody.
They was messed up.
Right.
That's what's wrong with that's what's wrong with you white people that are racist. I have a lot of friends. You see me, I did a news report right here on Soul Ties Karmic Recall with Robert Concona. He's a white man. All right, so we're not racist. We're not in a power position to be racist.
Right.
But to you white people that are not racist, because you hate blacks, but you're not racist because you don't have no power, you try to act like you're not racist or you're just proud of being racist, you're sick. You're just as sick as everybody black you see that's sick. Right. How could you not be sick and you caused the black people to be messed up? Wasn't nobody running to Europe asking for help and asking you to work for us and to do nothing for us. Y'all did that. Did nobody go to Europe and take over your land? Y'all did that to the Indians and Africans. So, not saying all white people. Like I said, I'm saying this to those of you that still got that slavery tendency.
That white supremacy.
Yeah, that's your problem.
You think you're
even you Jews.
Better than. And honestly, most white people in America have been afforded privilege and benefits off the back of slavery, generations to this day.
Absolutely.
So when you have a group of white people that don't acknowledge that you benefited off of slavery and the demise of Africans throughout the diaspora, then you have like a real mental dissolution.
That is it. This sister is telling you.
Everything can be proven.
Yes, teach. Teach.
So, but along with just to jump back to Adopted Community Project.
Yes.
We do the criminal expungement, record cleanup.
That's awesome.
GED, high school diploma. We have a kids program that we're launching where we're actually developing custom curriculum to teach the children about who they are so they understand their origins, all the great ancestors, all the people that paved the way before them, and also teaching them about what their strengths are, what their talents, pulling those out of their kids.
Awesome.
So we have a kids club, and we also tie in literacy with that, and we're actually developing some STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, along with that.
I hope you got all this on paper and you pushing for grants.
Well, this ain't the grant paper, but actually,
we're
we're gearing up for that. We just recently got our 501c3.
Okay.
So I know you said non-governmental. I don't know.
That means it's an international.
Right.
Like my nation, my nonprofit is not only a nonprofit in the United States. It's called Nation. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook. Yeah. But I got my group, Birth Black Economic Resistance Front.
Okay.
And I also have my group, that's my page, Black Economic Resistance Front, Then I have my Soul Ties Karmic Recall page, and then my group is Nation O. Nation O is Knowledge Nexus, Origin of Wisdom, Institute of Higher Consciousness. And it is a 501c3 here in America, but also with the Geneva, I'm a non-governmental organization. And we could talk more about that. But right now it's your time. We need y'all to know about what this sister in United Nations of Consciousness. I mean, take that in, United Nations of Consciousness. Right. This is all spearheading out in the city of San Bernardino. Right. And so what she got is a difficult task. Right. And what she's doing, if you heard her articulate it, took the time on our listening, she's bringing and keeping hope alive and bringing solutions to where there's a problem that even the federal government has ignored. Because city of San Bernardino doesn't have the appropriate technology transfer. Nope. It doesn't have the appropriate intervention programs, the appropriate prevention programs, or the appropriate reintegration programs. Is that kind of your goal, is to try to bring those? I
mean, really, the activities that you see us doing, they're grassroots activities, but like I said, we have to address our people where they are right now and their emergency needs to get them in a position to be entrepreneurs,
right?
To be management level at some of these corporations, to get them to be their own owners, to get them to have viable income to even support the movement towards the liberation of Black people.
Right.
So it's like building blocks, you know.
Yes.
We're meeting them where they are now, but eventually we'll get into some things like crowdfunding, you know, group business startups, land acquisition. We're actually launching a community garden and building a blueprint for that, so we can do pop-up gardens all over the city.
Would you like to say where it's going to be?
Well, actually, right now, Adopt a Community Project, the community that we've adopted is on the west side of San Bernardino, right in between the Little Zion Manor and the Dorjills, the DJs. If you're from San Bernardino,
California Street,
19th, we're there every other Saturday from 10 to 2, and we do a cleanup where we just pick up trash and then reach the residents with all this information and get them registered to take part in the services. So, and we'll also have the garden right there. It'll be in the back of the Dorjills, trying to bring organic produce to the African American community, getting the kids involved. You know, our people need to touch the soil, feel the land. That's who we are. It speaks to our inner core. So definitely, and then also from that, economics can be built if we can get a farmer's market going, or at least
you know Brother Jamal and his dad?
Yes. Yeah. He actually, it was his group, the Lilies, that did the Global Green African American Global Economic and Development Summit that we just went
UCLA.
to. Yeah, USC. So that was actually their group. So I'm real good friends with his wife, Sister Nova. She does a lot of great things in the community. She's been such a blessing to our organization and such a light for me personally. So that's my sister. Shout out to Sister Nova.
I would like to say the sisters in the city of San Bernardino are really on it.
Support each other.
It's a sister named Linda down at the library.
Linda Hart.
Linda Hart, that's what I thought.
American Mental Health Coalition. She's one of our trusted advisors.
She's sharp. You sharp. Sister Makita is sharp.
We work with her,
you know what I'm saying? Sister Nova
Shout
sharp.
out to Sister Makita.
You know, it's a
Sister
lot of
Linda.
the sisters is really doing serious moves in the city of San Bernardino and in the Inland Empire. I want to give props to the Black queens out here in the city of San Bernardino specifically, and throughout all the Inland Empire, that are really trying to make moves for their own people. Time for a commercial break. For small and medium-sized businesses, Strategic Nexus Media provides perfect media service needs. Communicate through the website soultieskarmicrecall.com and call 714-905-9148. Now that's pretty awesome. You are aware that in Nigeria, it was the Black women in Nigeria that finally broke the colonists, because they said, we not working for nobody, not even our own men, until y'all end this. And they sat down outside for months straight, wasn't cooking, wasn't doing nothing, wasn't working for none of them colonizers, and then British left Nigeria. They left Nigeria. And what I like to mention, there's something that with Nation O I kind of wanted to do, because it's an Institute of Higher Consciousness, like United Nations of Consciousness is. I want to see a unity between the LA Blacks and the Inland Empire San Bernardino Blacks. So what I want to do is see if me and you can work together, and then we can do a follow-up report on where we're at with it, and then maybe we can bring in some brothers that's, you know, longtime Crips or Bloods from LA, longtime Crips or Bloods from San Bernardino or IEs, and have them sit down and talk things out, you know, and then, you know, that they can go back into their apartment buildings and their communities, wherever they live, and start putting the message out that, you know, the younger generation don't have to put up with what we did. You know, I'm 40 years old. I understood. I watched it. I didn't play that. I had friends from LA and IE, and that's the one thing about me. Can't nobody play me and try to act like I wasn't like that. I made my money with everybody, and a lot of people hated me for that. But all I knew was that green, and that's all I got. And it helped me to be where I'm at today.
Absolutely.
You know,
you learn from hustling in the streets.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
A black man was a black man to me. That's who I'm going to have to get locked up with in my mind back then. That's who so I'm not caring about if you from this hood or that hood, this city or that city. I make money from city to city. That's what I thought. So then once, you know, I got 18, I found out what I was doing to my own people, because I seen how my family members that was on that crack was. I said, you know what? I can't keep turning a blind eye.
Yeah.
I got rid of it. I said, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah.
And so from that point, becoming conscious, it had to be Rasta. It had to be a black thing for me. It wasn't that I got saved in Jesus Christ or I became a Muslim. It was Rasta, because Rasta told me that God was black, and that's the whole problem with our people, that we need to be aware of who we are as Africans, and that we ran the whole world.
Extreme personality disorder a lot of our African brothers and sisters have. Just to even call a black American African, they be like, I ain't African. Yes, you are. Where do you think your people came from? You are a descendant of Africa, misplaced in the United States.
And should be proud of that.
And should be proud of it. Absolutely. You have all the reasons historically, and all the great civilizations came from Africa. Everything that you see technology based and mathematically and with the cosmos and all the different constellations and all of that, our people came up with those inventions. So if you understand the history, you would know how much they've stolen from us and how much credit they've taken and given bad information throughout the years, and that it's really our ancestors that paved the way for this society to even operate the way it does today.
Absolutely.
Without African influence, you wouldn't be holding that cell phone.
George Washington Carver gave Ford the idea to do the what is that called? That Henry Ford is supposed to be notable
for the car.
Yeah, the assembly line. George Washington Carver came up with that.
Yes.
He realized it with bees and pollination flowers. Never, and that's why Henry Ford always showed him. You think Henry Ford could come up with anything? He didn't have a bit of creativity in himself, or mathematical or scientific genius. He was an imbecile. You know, George Washington Carver was probably the smartest person on the entire planet. He was Imhotep reincarnated. So we looking at some things. We got a lot of work to do, but I think magic, and as she said, Ashe, ancestralism comes in it. Do you feel like being a leader that you are with United Nations of Consciousness, how do you feel about our spirituality as black people in the city of San Bernardino? Do you feel like that's a root, important part of us going upward in society?
Absolutely.
Or is it?
Absolutely. I feel like that's a part of the problem with Africans across the diaspora, whether they were African born or not. When colonization happened, you had these European explorers and missionaries coming in and introducing us to their God and their manufactured God to keep us mentally and spiritually oppressed, because they realized the power that we had spiritually. So when you get back to your roots of, you know, the spirituality that we practiced prior to colonization and prior to European influence, that's where your strength and power comes from. And I feel like that's a huge problem in San Bernardino. It's a very Christian-based you know, community, which I'm not shooting down no Christian organizations. We work with Christian organizations. You know, I'm born again, I'm a believer, all of that too. But, you know, Jesus was not a white man. Jesus' name wasn't Jesus.
No, it wasn't.
You know, if you look at the story of Jesus, it's Haru and all of that. You know, so I don't want to get into religion and all of that. I just encourage you to read.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you read and you study, then you learn and you understand a little bit about who we were before colonization and how we did things and how that worked for us for several civilizations.
Right,
so.
right. You know what? Stay tuned. Time for an advert break. Soul Ties Karmic Recall with David Dimitri. STKR, Ecstasy, Reality, and Overcoming. Lifestyle Guidance with David Dimitri. Obtain the book at soultieskarmicrecall.com. Now back to the STKR show. You know what? I would like to ask you if there's any upcoming events. Can you tell us your website? Can you tell us your social media handles? Can you tell us any? And before that, could you tell us any upcoming events, where they're at, and how people can access and contact you?
Okay.
The United Nations of Consciousness.
Yeah, we got a lot of events going
All right,
on.
what's
We stay
that?
busy. Adopt a Community Project. We always need volunteer support, donations. If you can come for an hour even and just help us pick up trash or plant a seed in the garden or speak to one of your brothers and sisters about what we're trying to do as far as the movement, if you're on the same page with us in regards to the liberation for all people of African descent. Adopt a Community Project, our next cleanup will be August 15th. That's this Saturday from 10 to 2 on 19th Street, right off of California, on the backside of the Little Zion Manor and in between the Dorjill Estates. We meet there every other week. So from the 15th, you can count it. Every 2 weeks, we're there at 10 a.m. Also, we have our public meeting. If you want to link with us, you want to be a part of what we're doing, you like what you see or what you hear, you want to get to know more, or even if you don't like what we're doing, we encourage you to come. Our public meeting is August 18th, and that's every third Tuesday of the month. It'll be at 1505 West Highland Avenue at the New Hope Family Life Center in San Bernardino, right off of Highland and Medical Center.
All right.
We also have an upcoming social event because we know that we have to have fun.
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah, we do.
We have to. We can turn up too,
right?
Right. So, but we got to do it
so.
where we maintain the integrity of what our ancestors set before us and how we should represent ourselves with respect and dignity. So we have Urban Soul Experience.
Wow.
That's coming up on September 5th. That's Saturday on Labor Day weekend.
I'm there.
It'll be at Raquel's in
Okay,
Rialto,
I'm there.
Black-owned business.
We be down there.
Everything is Black-owned.
We be down there.
So we're gonna do it
Yeah.
for the people. The pre-sale tickets are $25. We have Chicago's step and line dancing lessons. We have a celebrity chef coming doing a food tasting, spoken word. We got a shout out to Il Camille coming out,
All right.
a Rialto native, down with Kendrick, Snoop, Terrace Martin. I can name so many more. One of the hottest female lyricists, definitely pushing positive messaging in her music.
Okay.
We got Colby Cordell coming out, R&B sensation. Michael Lex, we got our NOI brothers coming from the Youth Coalition right here at the Mohammed Mosque in Rialto. Yeah. So we have so much. Annette Royale, I could keep going on. We got a lot.
Right.
It's going to be a dope
See, there
event.
is a family out here in San Bernardino. Black family. You know what I'm saying? RBG is living here. Black Conscience, Black Dot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you can link up with us actually the quickest, easiest way if you text the word UNC Life to 31996. You can subscribe to our text updates, and that's how you just get information, no more than 6 texts a month. Also, you can link up on our website at www.unclife.org. You can also call 909-575-8862. However you want to reach us, we're there available for you. Also, you can email me directly at LaNAe@UnitedNationsOfConsciousness.com. So,
word up.
Yeah, however you want to plug with us. Also on Facebook /UNC Life.
That's what it is.
We got every plug. What you want to do?
Making it happen, all right? It's from the heart, you know what I'm saying? That's why this is Soul Ties Karmic Recall. We soul tied.
Thank you, brother.
We all tied together, you know? And that's magnificent. Yeah. I got one more question in regards to our discussion. What do you think of birth, the Black Economic Resistance Front, my page? The idea of birth is that we need, as Africans and blacks, we need to not spend our money outside our community. So what we did was start a protest against blacks as a fast, as us as the black nation in the United States of America, to show our power economically. by not spending money outside of our community during the holidays at all, by not going out to public celebrations, not even on alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Only get your weed from black sellers. I'm just putting it out there, all right? Because I'm not against marijuana. We're pro marijuana. So like, yeah. So what I'm saying is, we want to use this like they did in Birmingham, and they didn't get on the buses. Yeah, that was so effective. It was. But us blacks in the United States of America, we spend billions of dollars on the holidays alone yearly. Yearly, that is disgraceful. What you don't realize is that you are keeping Jewish people and white people in the pocket. You have no idea, obviously, that they don't have to get in cars because they're too busy flying in airplanes because of you. They're not their own best customers. Right. They own the stuff. They don't got to buy it. Right. It's black Americans, African Americans, call yourself what you want. Moors, 5%ers, you know what I'm saying? Hebrews, whatever. You're spending your money on these holidays and just as an orgy of spending, being consumer slaves, then you go to work being a wage slave, then you empowering these people. Right. But if we, for one holiday season, I didn't say the whole year, for a holiday season, fasted, and didn't even go out, stayed at home, chilled, had meetings, planned for what we're going to request from the government after we did this protest successfully. Then when they come to the negotiating table with us, we can tell them what we want. The first thing is, we want illegally and wrongfully brutalized, imprisoned, and killed blacks to be given justice in the United States of America. Then what we want is that the illegal brutalization, illegal and wrongful imprisoning, and illegal and wrongful killings of blacks to stop. Or we won't spend our money in this nation. That, I believe, is our ultimate, really, that's our hope. That's our only weapon. But of course, that's the real show of love of self. Right. Because we didn't came to the level where we're in the same consciousness. And to the point where we're acting it out in a habit. Right. What do you think of that?
I think that is on point. I think that United Nations consciousness, I want to formally go on the record and say this, is 100% in favor of boycotting during the holiday seasons. We have got to hold back our dollars. That is the only thing that this country understands and gets. So yes. I love what your page is doing, Birth. I think that it's amazing. I think that it's spot on. But what we need to do is we have a lot of these mini boycotts. We need to get on the same page all together across the nation, across the diaspora, I don't care, everywhere, and get our people on the same page at the same day at the same time, because that's when we're going to have the most impact. And that's also representative of who we are as an organization. We serve as a liaison. So the 5%ers, so the Moors, the Hebrew Israelites, the NOI,
or just the
Sankofa group,
the Crips of Blood, Vice Lords,
Christians,
disciples,
you name it. We all got to sit at the same table at the same time and be on the same page with that boycott. That's how it's going to resonate, and that's how we're going to get our reparations and our change.
Me and her obviously going to have to take this to another meeting, and we're going to bring people together, but we need to keep it between just a few first. So we can, because I already know the name of the organization. I'm going to pay for the organization to get started. I will say that officially on record, and with the government and whatnot, where we can be politically active. Because you know these nonprofits, you can't be politically active. Right. So we're going to do that, and then
well, you can, just not a lot, like 10%.
It's a knick-knack thing.
Right.
And so with that note, let's close it with United Nations of Consciousness, y'all. La'Nae Norwood, communicate with her. And even if you ain't black, but you know that your heart is with helping blacks, we want you Hispanics to help work with us and know that we got you in mind. We care about your best benefit, poor whites, Asians, the people. We want, but right now we have to work on ourselves. Y'all know we at the bottom, so don't fake. And if you can help by donations, give unto us. Even Soul Ties, Karma Recall is taking donations so we can have a bigger studio, so we can have better equipment. United Nations of Consciousness is taking donations so they can bring more to the resources to the community that needs. And La'Nae Norwood,
Thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
any more you would like to expand? And
I just want to say thank you. I think what you're doing is amazing. So may the ancestors fortify you, empower you, and give you all the resources you need to keep this going. Ashe. And peace and love to all my people. We here for you. We want to work with you. We want to build with you. Everybody. So love you guys. Black power, peace, and power to the people.
Benevolence. Thank you for watching the Soul Ties Karmic Recall webisodes. Check for more on YouTube at Soul Ties Karmic Recall, and go to soultieskarmicrecall.com for the book series and MLCGC video tutorials.